Alright, so welcome to PT everyone. This episode we're going to have Ovechkin and DJ Khaled joining me in Stapler. And to start off with the episode, we're going to be talking about the recent trades. Stapler, if you just want to let the audience know about some of the recent moves.
Well, first off, I gotta talk about Fruit to the Gunmen since they've won a lot of the recent cups. There's no Hefe though. So basically, it's Miles or Rich plus Hefe's Gunmen. So that'll be interesting. They're playing much the same style, and obviously that's got him a couple of results recently. But that's a big one. And then also Muffin and Addy, the Lions. They're actually like a real team now. We'll discuss some of the other ones later. Do you guys have any thoughts on those two transactions? Hello, DJ?
Hello.
I think you touched on all the points that I was thinking.
Well, what about Muffin and on the Lions?
Well, I mean, it's interesting with the fact that Flossie's gone. I don't think Flossie would have started in the current
Probably
roster
not.
that they have right now. And I think also, you pointed out earlier, Compass, his starting spot might be in question just based on the fact that they have this new reboosted roster.
Well, I don't think he should be in the lineup. Personally, I think their best lineup is Aereo, GK, Muffin mid, and then Addy and Pixels forward. I don't know if y'all think the same, or do you think Compass should be in the lineup?
Well, Pixels at D forward is probably the one you'd think would happen.
He's also been
but
goalkeeping a lot recently.
yeah, I think he's trying to go for that G of the year. He's actually somehow in the top of points and in GAA at the same time. Unbelievable. But some late MVP, GM of the year, GK of the year candidacy from Pixels. I'll give him a shout out. But yeah, I think we'll see him GK instead.
What do you think of Ovechkin?
Yeah, he's played twice as many minutes at GK than forward, so we could see him at GK for the rest of the regular season. They might change things up for the playoffs. They'll probably have Muffin at mid and Pixels forwarding in the playoffs. That's what the Isles did back in season 23.
Right.
I just think
Then,
Aereo's their best GK.
Yeah,
yeah,
he was on the way to GK of the year at one point,
Oh
and
yeah, he was
also mid
playing
of the
great.
year. He's playing really phenomenal. Like Renbadach, like he keeps talking in my ear about Arrow and he hypes him up, but he until now, and he's played on lots of good teams. He hasn't really built his reputation on the field. This season he is, so
Oh yeah,
kudos
for
to him.
sure.
Also Splat came out of nowhere. That Irish dude.
I don't think he needs to be in the lineup though for playoffs.
yeah, too many good players
Debatable.
ahead of him.
But also, I would like to go back to that gunman trade. Do you actually think Fruit going to the gunman really elevates them any? Because personally, I think Fruit's a good player and a good forward, but I don't think it really even helps them that much.
It didn't fill a need for the gunmen. They already had Dzeko and Stotch at forward already.
I don't
And
think
then they
Nate
threw
believes in
Fruit into the
Stotch at
mix.
all, though. I mean, they were losing to my team. He didn't get a single minute. So it's interesting that Nate traded for him, but I don't think he's played a single game. Maybe garbage time. That's pretty much it. I'm surprised. But yeah, that's why he traded for Fruit, because he doesn't believe in Stotch. And
Yep.
also, I think Dzeko doesn't want to play D forward. I think he likes playing as a defensive CP,
Well, he
bussing.
can't.
That's
He's
where he's
not good enough
comfortable.
to play D forward, I don't think.
Not on
But
a cup-winning team.
not on a cup-winning
No.
team.
And that's the bottom line.
I just don't think they're that great of a team. I think they have a lot of weaknesses. I don't think Rich plays enough to elevate them either.
No, he's not in practice really. And Miles, man,
And you gotta
him and
feel
Rich
for
are on the same
Stotch.
level.
This happens to him every season.
Yeah, seriously though, I don't know how, but it happens to Stotch every single fucking season. He really needs to get on a team that believes in him, and will stick with him to the end. I'm fucking drafting him next season. Fuck it.
No, I feel you on that. There's also some D2 moves. DJ, if you just want to comment. Pixies kind of had a few trades. Bike Thieves added Sean, Mont, and Yas.
I think the Pixies absolutely won the trade deadline. completely new roster basically, with the exception of Drag and Shimino. I mean, Plug is on there, but I think they have 9 guys, and it looks like he's the guy to cut just because he hasn't been showing up. But they got, they traded for Rylan. They traded for Chinny, and they got him for a steal basically. Although, you got to deal with the attitude there.
It doesn't look like he's going to play for them.
Frizzle, you're probably gonna mid just based on what Drag's been saying. Chinny's looks like he's gonna. I mean, Drag asked him to goalkeep, and Chinny was just having none of it, so it doesn't look like he's gonna play at all. Maybe Rylan will
Kind of
play
sucks.
goalkeeper.
Like from my point of view, Chinny could be like one of the top GKs in the league right now. I really like playing with him when he's GK. I don't know why he tries to force himself into mid.
I mean, plus with the major ping issues that he's been having.
Yeah,
these past
exactly.
2 seasons.
Why force yourself into a position where you were really good, like before when you weren't having any ping issues, you were playing like every day. When he was hosting every day, like his mid, yeah, he was a top mid, but right now, I think he should play GK. It would solve a lot of Pixie's problems, and I don't know, just sucks.
They traded for Guid, I think, and then they cut him, and then they got him back off waivers.
I love
So
Gwyd.
I mean, he helped them out, I think, 2 seasons ago in the playoffs tremendously. I think he'll be a good 5th man for him.
He's like the 4th man, so to speak. Like he's perfect when you need him to start for some reason, and then he'll just turn it on. He'll activate Gwyd mode.
I agree with that. Moving on from the Pixies, what do you think about the Bike Thieves? I don't know if you've seen them play recently, Ovechkin. As just kind of like a neutral, perspective.
They've made a resurgence the second half of the season. Ever since Apple signed Scott Balla and traded for TDA, his team's looked completely different right now. I can definitely see them moving up as high as the 4th spot in the D2 playoffs when this week is said and done.
What did you think about the trade for Mont, though? I thought that was kind of pointless. I think he just has too much lag issues, really.
Yeah, but he's gotten used to those lag issues as his career's gone on. He's always sort of had those issues, I guess.
He gave up a lot to get him. Hercules, Kitty, a 6, and an 8.
Yeah, I thought that was a kind of a bizarre trade, just as how much they give up for one guy.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not really sure if he's actually going to be crack their starting roster, just because they have TDA, Scott Balla, Big Muff. Apple might put himself in there because he's been scoring a lot recently.
I thought Yas was their best addition.
Yeah, Yas is like, this turns this team into a playoff team, 100%.
What were you saying though, Ovi?
No, I was just gonna say I thought Mont was a better player than Apple. So if Mont is available, then he should start ahead of Apple.
Potentially, yes, but I think playing with guys like Yas and Scott Balla, who might be more defensive-minded kind of players, Apple might fit, actually. I like Apple. I've always liked playing with him, so I don't know what the hate's about with him. He could be okay in a playoff series.
I think they're basically one player away. I mean, Yas, DA, and Scott, they're all D1 players. They're just missing that one player. They just need someone to step up.
Yeah, they got people who are able to do that. Nilo, Montscar, Apple. They just need one of those guys to produce okay, and they'll make a run.
Yeah, they could be this year's Elite Four.
Yeah.
Actually, I like that comparison now because
very much so.
They have a lot of untouted players, you know.
Yeah.
Well, Yes won GK of the year like last year.
Well, yeah, but
he's not exactly untouted. And TDA won the fucking cup as a 5th man.
Wait, Yas won GK of the year?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
He had like a
I thought
TDA sub 1 GAA.
Oh wait, you're right. Well, they got 2 GK of the years essentially for the price of 1.
Okay. Any other important signings you saw anyone make?
Well, my team picked Carlitos, and I was surprised he showed up on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's a solid addition for you.
Yeah, I really like he's showing up, and I was scared kind of that we wouldn't have much depth coming into the playoffs because my ability is just out the window now since I'm not playing anymore. But shout out to Ren playing the whole season, and then he's probably going to get benched in the playoffs. Maybe that's why he didn't show up Wednesday.
For Carl?
Really, really love you, dude. But yeah, Carlitos, and then possibly the addition of another player since Hannah and XGen signed up. Yeah, so
Team's
impact
gonna go
players
too
coming
much
in.
drop ball meme ball.
Well, I do have Shot as my starting mid.
Yeah, I think Shot's been a pretty good mid for you guys this year.
Yeah, in the mid of the year discussion for sure.
Definitely surprised by how much he's improved and how much he's provided for you guys.
Dude, to be honest, he's all like he was instantly a top tier player as soon as he came in.
He's always
there's
just
a
been
reason.
kind of like a pub player, and never
Oh.
really puts in a ton of minutes.
Yeah.
I remember draft night, I was kind of criticizing you for trading all your first rounders, but I gotta say, Stapler, Shot has been a really nice steal from the second round. You've
I
built
also
together a pretty nice team.
got Ass Slapper
Yep,
played.
and
Top
we'll
QT
talk.
pie.
We'll see if your team's a contender. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Any other moves y'all thought were important, like any kind of like low-key signings? I know Stoner's also added Thunder. That was like right before our episode. Jeff went to the Gremlins. I think we already touched on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dinobot's added
we
a
did
few
talk about that
players.
last time.
Uh,
Thunder to the Stoners is definitely important if they can make the playoffs.
Yeah.
If they can make the playoffs, then yeah, sure. But if they don't, then well, what are we talking about here?
That's fair enough. And I think we can go ahead and move on to the next segment.
Yeah.
So, DJ, this involves your team. The key streak was broken. I don't know the exact number of games y'all won, but I think it was like 19 or something. Do you have any idea?
Just for this season, it was 16.
Okay, that's a pretty good run. So, basically, what went wrong? Like y'all were so close to completing it. Like the Pixies got closer than y'all that one season, but I mean y'all were pretty damn close.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was just kind of just not focusing. Biggest thing was inside like the locker room. Just looking out, we had a lot of guys just were focused on stats way too much. So it was kind of just like, hey, how can I get goals for myself rather than how can I get goals for the team?
Yeah, I'm not
so
gonna
that's-
name any names, but I noticed that in the chat box the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've just been addressing it all week, and we've been putting a lot of practice time over the last few days. Like just scrimmaging other teams, better players versus worlds. Just trying to address it because, I mean, honestly, I think we deserved some of the losses this loss just based on some of the attitudes some of the guys have been having. And we had that close call with the Mayberries after that weird mix-up. So
Yeah, obviously going undefeated would be nice, but do you feel it's a good thing that you lost? Like as far as winning the cup?
I think it definitely put us back on the grounds where we could recognize like, hey, this isn't just going to come to us.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the moves done by the other teams. D2 just kind of went from being like a easy keys win, if I could say that, to now it's 4 teams or head to head basically come playoff time.
Yeah, for sure.
can see
This
that.
deadline, like, there's a lot of activity. Like the past couple seasons hasn't been that entertaining as far as deadline drama is concerned. But yeah, it's been pretty fun.
Like, what did you think, Ovi, is like kind of streaming some of their games and like paying a little attention to D2? Did you think they had a pretty good shot to go undefeated?
The Keys, I thought they had a good shot. I think it was good that they got this loss though, because it gets a lot less pressure off their backs now. Because the only undefeated team in SBHB history in the regular season was the Robot Bears, and they followed that up in the postseason by laying an egg. So by getting a loss out of the way, the Keys they can focus on some of their weaknesses because even though they were perfect, they still had a couple of flaws as a
Absolutely.
team. So yeah, they can focus on fixing those flaws, and this loss should get them better in the long run.
Yeah,
Okay,
for us,
I agree with
the
all that.
last few days has been entirely about addressing past issues and how can we get back to the success that we had early on in the season.
All right, that's fair enough. I think it's ultimately good for the Keys. Go ahead and move on to our next segment. So, The Elite Four are currently at risk of being relegated. New York Hacksaw Club is kind of revitalized with Oscillator taking over. Just want to hear y'all's thoughts. Do you think it is possible that Oscillator's New York Hacksaw Club can pass E4 in the standings? Because right now they're kind of dropping, and New York Hacksaw Club is climbing up the ladder.
You know,
Uh,
I haven't played against the team yet. Well, we're trying to get the reschedule in because they've
Yeah.
got double headers like the whole week. But anyway, I think they could. El Diablo's playing for them, and they have a lot of actually quality players. Luke, MTA. I don't think G Baller's worth a fourth/first, but he's been playing well. And if you have extra picks, sure, get some impact players. But they could. Like E4 is definitely going to lose like the rest of their games this week. I think Luciano. I don't know what he did in that locker room, man, but made some wrong moves.
Yeah, it's kind of a
Yeah.
sad collapse. I mean, they were looking like on the up. They made a lot of moves, but they just couldn't keep the team together. I guess that happens, first season GMing D1. I mean, do
Yeah,
you
that's a good
think?
point, man. My first couple seasons D1 as a GM were ugly.
Yeah, so you can't give him too much hate. I mean, he built
No,
a
that's
solid
true.
team, but I think he just couldn't manage everyone. I
He
mean,
lasted a
we had a
lot
lot of
longer
cancer.
than my fucking Beck kiss. At least
Yeah,
he didn't trade for cancer like I did.
I think they have a chance. I thought they beat the Gunmen, New York Basketball Club, but it's not showing. Oh, never mind. It's from the week one.
Yeah.
They have a. I mean, they can beat the Huskies. That's 6 points right there. Ultimately, it comes down to the E4 versus New York Basketball Club games. If they win both of those, I think they'll pass them. Because I can't really see E4 winning very many games coming down the stretch.
I'm not sure if Elite Four is even gonna have 4 people showing up down the stretch.
I didn't even
Seasons.
realize that. If 2 games against Elite Four, that could be 6 points
And
right fucking there.
it
Yeah,
is a
they could
little
have
unfair.
24 points, or not 24. They could have 12 points from
Yep.
the 2 Elite Four games, 2 Huskies games.
Wait, could this team make the playoffs mathematically?
They do
Yeah,
have a shot, yeah.
they're 5 games behind the Gunmen right now, and they have 5
They
games
also
in
only
hand.
played 13 games technically.
Wow.
I mean, that's 12 points, yeah? Or no. Yeah, 12 points from the Husky and E4 games, which I think they'll win if they show up. I mean,
Holy
they'll
shit.
obviously have to play really good.
Who do the gunmen play? Let me look at this real quick.
They have Huskies, Turtles, Elite Four. So
Oh,
it's gonna be rough.
Yeah,
They're gonna have to win some of the other games. But I mean, yeah, I don't think Elite Four are even gonna have 4 players.
That's gonna be tough. I think New York Basketball Club will miss it just by virtue of the gunmen having such an easy last week in the schedule.
But is
Yeah.
y'all's prediction kind of? Do you think E4 is gonna drop below?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you know what? I think so. Man,
Kind of sad. They have great picks for next season too.
I
Yeah.
wonder who would actually show up at a relegation series. Do you think Luciano? I don't think Luciano has enough guys he can call on just to
They
show up for that.
they needed
Well,
Luffy.
I know
Yeah,
Luffy
him
blocked
banning Luffy from
Luciano.
our game room, man, that was it.
They did
That
sign
might have relegated
Crux,
him.
who's a solid player, and they have Disturbed, so they just have to
Yeah,
somehow get one more
let's
player.
get Squid showing up, and Mesut Özil is a quality player.
Who's played probably 40 minutes career.
It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be very tight.
Maybe Style will come back and revitalize his team. I
Beg
don't
him
know.
to show up at 3 a.m.
I talked to Stylo. I joined some British room, just had a chance, and he was in there, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm not showing up anymore. Just too late. Not worth it."
Wow.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, that happened to me. I should have picked Josh in the 3rd round, or someone anyway, but I picked a fucking Euro back who's good, but he's like 17 or something. Didn't want to show up that late. Don't draft Euros, guys. Except for Renbadach, Euro, Splat. None of them are autistic enough.
Okay, so say our prediction right now is E4 versus Huskies. Are either of these teams gonna have 4 people?
Man,
I mean, I could see both teams 3v3.
what we should do is real quick change the rules to relegate 2 teams and then get 2 teams from D2 promoted. That would be really fun.
See, I thought 2 teams would get promoted, but I guess it's only cup winner. Do y'all know any different?
Yeah, it's
And
only
turning
cup
6th
winner.
place into a playoff, like expanding the relegation promotion thing
Yeah.
might be kind of fun.
I could see that. maybe doing like a tournament or something. I don't know.
Yeah, just make 8th automatically relegate, and
Yeah.
then 7th and 6th play, something like that. Because 6th right now it isn't in anything.
Yeah, that's
No
okay.
man's
That's
land.
gonna be a mess. It's gonna be sad if E4 relegates, but oh well. I guess we can go on and move on to. We have a pretty chaotic week actually. The last week of the season. Obviously, we just talked about New York Hexball Club, but I mean, we have like the top teams all playing against each other. Just want to hear y'all's thoughts about like who do you think is gonna rise to the top? Because we have a little bit of a logjam. Actually, the squares have dropped down a little bit, so it's pretty much like Lions and Staplers fighting for that first seed.
Yeah, and they play each other on Tuesday night too. It
Oh,
should
that's
be
gotta
a
Is that
good
on
game.
stream?
That's gotta be on the stream.
All right. Yeah, I'll try and get that game on stream.
Cool.
You know?
Ovechkin,
I don't
what
know.
are your thoughts on race for first seed?
Yeah, it's definitely gonna come down to that one game. Winner of that game is gonna win it. I can't tell you right now who's gonna win that game though.
And
I
actually,
think both teams are pretty evenly matched.
outside of that game, they both played the Turtles and Squares, so like they have identical schedules essentially.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's gonna come down to that game probably.
Who do you think's gonna finish 3rd place? Squares or Turtles? That's also gonna come down to the
It's
wire.
gonna be the Squares, I think. They've got what, a 4-point cushion on the
Yeah, but also
Turtles.
2 games more played.
And those two Turtles games are against the New York Hexball Club
Yeah.
too.
So that's a guaranteed 6 points. Or not guaranteed actually.
I
I wouldn't
mean,
say that.
yeah, I
It's easier
mean,
schedule.
NYHC can force a overtime game or
I
two.
think maybe NYHC can get a win there in one of those games. If they could split it, that'd be successful for them.
Well, the Turtles haven't really shown much offense ever since acquiring a Hefe and Cell. They've been winning a
Yeah,
lot of 1-0 games.
man, this is
So
the most Hefe-esque, if that's a word, teams I've ever fucking seen. This is worse than the Dynasty, worse than the Gunmen. This is literally a one-man team. They play exactly how Hefe wants. They get 1 goal a game, and it's just disgusting hackspaw, man.
well,
You know,
they've got the goalie to play that kind of style though. Iggy's top 3 Hall of Fame GK in league history. So
if the Squares can't manage to get the 3rd seed at least, I think that's got to be very disappointing. Like this is a team that should at least be a top 2 seed.
yeah, this was the team that a lot of people in the beginning of the year predicted to win the cup. So
See, I
for
think
them to drop down.
they're just missing a true mid. I would probably move under to mid personally.
Yeah, something like that. Under isn't a true
Yeah.
mid. Neither is Star. There
Yeah.
is no real solution
They
like I
need-
see.
I feel like the Squares, they're kind of predictable, but it's just that they're better than most of the people they're playing, so that's how they win.
In the playoffs, they might get exposed.
Yeah.
That lack of a mid.
Well, if they play the Gunmen in the playoffs, I think that's worst case scenario for the Squares. The Gunmen have had their number this year
Yeah.
and previous seasons too.
Either
They're
that or
gonna
get
try as hard as
Josh.
possible to, yeah.
Josh
They
might
have
wind up giving a little
Bima Bang
creativity.
there. They have Chewbacca. They have like Hall of Famers up and down. Well, not necessarily Bima's a Hall of Famer, but they have like top end players up and down the roster. They just gotta fit them together in that puzzle piece for the final week. They probably won't change how they line up though. That's just my gut.
Seems like they struggle to score against really good teams.
Right.
Actually, yeah, both of your games have been 1-0 against the Squares. But they won them though, so you have to give them that credit. But
To be fair, it's kind of weird. We haven't played the Lions or the Hefe Turtles or the Squares with our starting lineup. It's kind of weird. Every single time someone misses a game, it's a big game. That's why
yeah.
when teams like we're 2nd place right now, that's why, because those are the only games we're losing. It's fun. We'll see in the last week of the season.
So
everyone's showing up. We'll get.
What
an
are your
accurate,
predictions then for
assessment
D1? Who's going to get the first seed? I mean, I feel like you got to have confidence in your team, right?
Last week, me deciding not to reschedule that Lions game might cost us the first seed.
Fair enough.
But if we can't beat the Squares or the Turtles, say we're 2nd place and we can't beat those teams, we weren't winning the cup anyways. So I don't think that decision will haunt us for the cup.
Yeah.
It's really just gonna come down to that Tuesday game, I think.
Yeah.
Okay,
This
fair enough.
week, I can't say.
Yeah, well,
Too
okay, we'll
close to
say the
call.
first seed's up for grabs. Turtles or squares for the third seed. I gotta go with the squares personally.
Yeah, I can't see the squares dropping down
You
to
know, probably
4.
same.
Not with that lineup.
Okay, and probably turtles for scummen. There actually is a little bit of a race in D2 as well. Gremlins and Pixies will be duking it out. I don't know who y'all have emerging from that.
Gremlins, I think they have an easy schedule before they end up playing the Pixies in the final game of the year.
Let's see who they have.
They have Sluts, Keys, and Pixies.
Okay.
They'll definitely get the Sluts win. I'm not. DJ Khaled, is your team gonna try that week, or are you guys just gonna tank the week?
Nah, the plan is to keep the starters in for the duration of the week. These guys we want to get back on track and figure out, you know, whatever went wrong last week, can we fix it and be on a high going into the playoffs? So we're definitely going full strength.
All right,
Okay.
fair enough. Yeah, I see you
So-
guys beating the Gremlins, so
I won't be here for the last week, but Pixies kind of have like a similar schedule. They play Keys and Mayberries.
yeah.
So it might come down to the final game of the season for D2.
Yeah.
We also have kind of like the race for the 4 and 5 seed.
Yeah, and the Dinobots released a couple of players this past week too. Not sure if that'll affect them that
If
much.
this
but
team manages to get in playoffs, they are limping into playoffs really.
yeah,
For sure.
yeah. If the bike thieves have the most potential to do damage in the playoffs out of those 3 teams, I think.
I honestly can't see the Dinobots winning their next 3 games, or their final 3 games. And it's the race for the 4th and 5th spots is up for grabs between 4 teams. So I think Bike Thieves are definitely in the playoffs. Stoners, if they can field, enough guys, they got 4 games next week. But Tavs just said like they have a lot of guys who just the attendance issues is just crazy. And then Sluts, it'd be insane
go
if they
ahead.
could go.
I think if the Dinobots just manage to beat the Sluts, they might get in the playoffs actually. Because they have a 3-point lead over the Bike Thieves right now. So if they can just manage like 3 points, I think they could be okay. Because that would be.
Well, they also have a game against the bike thieves, I think.
Yeah.
And
like, if
the
they can
bike
go to
thieves can
OT.
make that up.
It depends if the Dinobots and Sluts game is a 3v3 game or a 4v4 game, because I think the Dinobots are a better 4s team. But if you watch the Sluts play 3s throughout this entire season, that's when they get their wins. It's not when they get their they never win when they play with 4 guys.
I think Stoners will make playoffs. They still have one less game played in a lot of teams, and
Well, that
I just
extra
believe in 'em.
game though is against the Keys.
Yeah.
And yeah.
The Bike Thieves basically have to be perfect, which is I think the Dinobots could actually limp into playoffs. I think they have better players than the Sluts, although Red Mousey's a solid mid.
Dude, can someone please explain to me who these people are?
I don't know who they were either. I played them the other day.
Honestly, the
still don't
Sluts
know
are
who
just
that
like
is.
the new team, just comprised of completely new faces.
Who the hell is Boo Ho? Who Leo12, I think some pub player. Who is Emma? Shout out to Emma for like talking to me. I don't know who you are, but you're kind of cool, I guess.
But just the
APA
fact that-
changed his name, and now no one knows who he is, and they didn't know who he was before. So
Appa
okay.
was okay.
Appa changed their name to
Oh.
that. Who was that originally?
Was like that? Oh, Ariel or whatever I think, or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, you're right.
It was Ariel.
Wow.
Well, Emma, just looking at her profile, she had like something like 34 minutes. She signed up in 2011, played 34 minutes, and then all of a sudden came alive this season.
That's got to be a multi, right?
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
way
'Cause
that
it's weird.
she talks shit.
I don't know, man.
Fair enough.
It's weird. This is the colors. Also, one last thing. I keep thinking of DJ Khaled's U-boats, but on steroids. Like the memes from that team, just like extrapolated to its natural conclusion. And you get the fucking Supreme Sluts, and this fucking logo, and this fucking
Such an
team.
amazing name and logo though.
I can't believe that passed the censors.
Yeah.
Okay, it's good.
All right.
Alright, sorry for the delay, everyone. I just exited
Let's
TeamSpeak.
move from the Supreme Sluts.
Let's go ahead and actually move on to Ovechkin's power rankings. If you just want to go
All
ahead and
right.
start it with D1, Ovi.
Yep. Haven't done one of these since week 1. I got too lazy for the other weeks, but here we go. Number 1, I got the Lions in D1. I think Addy, Pixels, Muffin, that lineup, they're gonna be the team to beat in the playoffs. Number 2, I've got the Staplers. I think Kevin.
What? Hey, whoa. Let's
Yeah,
not
I
say
know.
my real name
Huh?
on the air.
Oh, sorry, buddy. All right. I think Kevin Stapleton has a pretty decent
Fuck's
team.
sake.
Uh, Nance and Asslapper are made a pretty decent forward combination, and Shot, as we said before, has been a very viable mid of the year candidate. And then
Fair enough.
now that they've got Josh, I think this is a pretty complete team. Number 3, I've got the Austin Gunman. Nate made the deadline move for Fruit.
Whoa. Pause.
Okay, hold up.
What?
Hold up. Let him finish his sentence on Gunman.
It's
So
Is
we
Gunman
will have to
third?
address
It's
that.
personal opinion, you fuck. Now listen
Okay.
to me.
Okay.
Okay, give me a
Explain,
rundown on
please.
the Gunman.
Alright. I think the Gunmen are a better team than the Squares, and they've got more quality wins over the past week than the Squares. They ended up beating the Squares 1-0, and they beat the Lions 7-3.
Damn,
And
that's a big
then
win.
yeah, and then behind them I've got the Toronto Turtles. I know I'm gonna keep getting shit from Stapler here, but you know they're winning Hacksball games. Their past couple wins have been against the Squares, Lions, Gunmen, Staplers, all playoff caliber teams, and all victories. At
Nah, I
number
have nothing to say on that one. Good.
alright, number 5, I've got the Squares. They've kind of been struggling a little bit recently, maybe trying to find an identity or something. They've lost to the Gunmen and Turtles back-to-back games. Their only wins in the past 6 weeks were against the Huskies and Elite Four, and
Wait, 6
the
weeks? You mean
Staplers.
6?
Or 6 games, yeah. I'm thinking NFL schedule for some reason.
Okay. Before
Alright.
you go on to the others, let's address the top 5 real quick. Okay, Gunman at 3. My personal opinion is I don't even think they're a contender. I think they're basically a worse team than the Squares. Like, they play kind of similar style. So it's going to be very predictable as long as you don't fuck up your D. Like, the Squares goal, it was a pretty luck goal. We can say that. But
It
then
was a
again, you
luck
can...
goal.
Yeah. But then again, you can also say... It's a valid criticism that the Squares... I mean, they play a pretty boring offense, pretty predictable. But do you really think they have a better chance of winning the cup than the Squares? Like, personally?
User joined your
They're in the
channel.
Squares' head right now. The Squares have been swept by the Gunmen in the season series this year. They knocked the Squares out of the playoffs the past 2 years. It's more like of a mental thing right now. And until the Squares can get over that roadblock, I don't see them beating the Gunmen in a 5-game series.
I actually agree with Ovechkin here because I mean, if you look at the lineups for the Gunman and Squares games, Squares have had the same guys except for one game they had Josh playing, I think, and the only player to play in all 3 games for the Gunman was Nape. So Gunman have been able to beat the Squares same squad but with different players, and with the Gunman's new like playoff ready roster, I could see them beating the Squares. So I think Squares Gunman. If, if the Gunmen play the Squares, that's the worst case scenario for the Squares. I think Turtles are actually better than both teams, though. I would put them at third.
I can see that.
See, I probably have it... Probably Lions and Squares in my top 2, then Staplers, Turtles, and Gunmen. I think Gunmen are basically getting playoffs by default. I mean, when I was on E4, we beat them 6-0. I just think they're too weak in too many positions. And a smart team is just going to be able to exploit them. With agilities, he's
User
just
was kicked out
going
of
to
your
go out too
channel.
far. There's too many gaps in their defense.
I can see that.
I do think the Lions have a chance to be really good. So I agree with that. I just don't know how serious they're going to be.
When it comes playoff time, I think their group of players will be locked in. We've got Addy, Pixels, Muffin, all guys that have been in a lot of playoff series before. They can
Very
take
true.
the game seriously if they want to, and I don't know. They've got a lot of firepower. I don't
Yeah, pretty
see
decent
many
depth.
teams stopping them.
So rounding out the bottom three, what was your bottom three?
Yeah, that's a shit show right now. I've got NYHC at number 6, Elite Four is number 7 by default, and Huskies are 8.
Fair enough.
Just
That's fair, but you could probably even put Huskies above Elite Four at this moment in time.
Maybe so,
yeah,
actually.
yeah. I was debating that, but since Elite Four ended up getting 19 points this year and got a decent number of wins, I thought I'll just keep them at 7 after this major implosion.
Pretty good rankings, Obi.
All right.
Did you have any
Alright,
more
you
comments on
guys.
this ranking stapler? Like, I mean, Squares at 5, obviously that's going to be.
Man,
Not many people
you
are
know
going to have them there.
it's fair. You know, I think Ovechkin's objective point of view, since he's not actually playing this season, has really helped him assess that. And Square's
Yeah.
really not been impressive. They've only beaten us,
Fair.
like my team, when they've been underhanded, when we're missing guys. And aside from that, they keep losing to other contenders. I'm surprised. Losing to the Gunmen and Turtles and Lions recently, like, damn.
Yep.
When I traded Bima and under to the Squares, I was expecting, oh, well, they're going to probably win the cup. I'll just get guys that I want, and, you know, it'll be okay.
They
But
just don't look
completely
like an
turned
elite
around.
team when I watch them. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're good players all around. I think they just
On
need
paper,
to
they
try
should
under
be
mid.
much better.
Okay.
Just roster wise, they should be a lot
Oh,
better,
yeah.
like top 2.
They
But
just don't
it's just weird.
assert their will, kind of. We can go ahead and move on to your D2 power rankings as well.
Alright. I don't think you guys are gonna find much fault with this one. Number 1, I've got the Keys. They stayed undefeated up until Tuesday night, I think. So they're still number 1. Number 2, I've got the Gremlins. Ever since Escrow made his shit, what trade was it? I think it was the trade for Spart. Ever
Yeah,
since he
as
traded
well.
for Spart, his team has been completely different. They've been winning a lot of Hacksball games. They should be a really
User
dangerous
joined
team.
your channel.
I think they're. Oh,
User was kicked out of your channel.
all right. They're like really close with
User
the
joined
Pixies
your
right now.
channel.
I had to give.
User was kicked out of your channel.
All right, awesome. I had to give the edge to the Gremlins only because they've got the head-to-head against the Pixies, even though it's based on forfeit wins.
User joined your channel.
All right. Number 3 was the Pixies. All right, someone ban him, please.
Can't ban. I don't have permission.
Right
Damn
click
it.
mute him.
Just mute him.
He
Alright.
hasn't been on the entire time. I've had him muted. It's just MFK wasting time.
All right, yeah. Yeah. Number 3, I've got the Pixies. They're a close 3
User
to
left
the
your channel.
Gremlins. I like the moves that Drag made, trading for Prizzle and picking back up Guide. His team should be ready for the long haul come playoff time. Number 4, I've got the Bike Thieves. We talked about their resurgence earlier in the show. Ever since Scott Bella got signed, they started winning more games, and they should knock down a playoff spot this week. I think they can get to the number 4 spot, and they can give the Keys quite a scare in the first round after they beat the Stoners or Dinobots in the play-in game. And then number 5, I've got the Stoners. Both them and the Dinobots have been slumping recently, but the Stoners have more wins in the past 5 games than the Dinobots, so that's why I gave them the edge here. And I think they're the better team than the Dinobots if they're at full strength. with Thunder at forward if he shows up, and Zaytoven, who's had a nice comeback season this year, and Flu and Tavares out there playing for the Stoners. They they can put up quite a fight against a team like the Bike Thieves or maybe even the Pixies.
I think their front three should be Flu mid, with Zaytoven and Thunder, or Thunder mid and Flu forward. I think Tavares should maybe go to GK.
Yeah, I think that's a viable option for them. They don't really have a. Their GK for the most part this year has been Crumbler. He hasn't had a bad season, but I'd kind of like for my starting GK to have less than 2 goals allowed per game.
Oh, yeah,
From
absolutely.
yeah. Let's see. Number 6 was the Dinobots. They're way ahead of the Sluts and Mayberries at this point. Raptor made a couple of cuts this past week, cutting Sean and El Putney, I think. I
So
don't
yeah,
think
El
that'll
Patoni,
affect
yeah.
them that much. Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like they have to have Bob show up to make the playoffs, pretty much.
yeah. It'll be an interesting last week for them. The Sluts, they've been filled with a lot of new players this year, so defense was kind of hard to come by for them. But they've scored a lot of goals, and that's kind of surprised me a bit. They've gotten a few wins. I wouldn't call them quality wins since they look like total meme fests from what I can see. But
Your channel was
they had a
edited.
pretty surprising year. And then last place was the Mayberries. The best thing that they've got going for them right now is that they own the Staplers first and second round picks. And for a D2 team, those are some
Wait,
pretty good
who
draft
does?
picks.
Oh yeah.
The
Mayberries.
Mayberries.
I'll give
I don't know
props
how.
to. No, it's because of Nantes.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'll
oh,
give props
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
Camel. He made some really retarded decisions, but he didn't trade those picks, so that's
Yeah.
okay. And now the general manager is Bubblegum, and he's actually been around, so he'll actually draft some good players next season, first and
Alright.
second rounder. Like damn,
Yep. And
he's
just
got a lot
okay,
of picks.
just to comment on some of the power rankings at the top, since I just wanted to let you kind of finish them. Keys,
Yeah.
I think at number 1, that's pretty fair. I mean, they've only lost 1 game.
Yeah, you got to put Keys at the top. Like even if they lost the game,
Yeah.
nah, they're not
And
lower than first.
speaking of the Gremlins, I actually think they're probably the best trade could have been for King. I think he could be
Yeah.
their most impactful
It wasn't a
or
trade. It
second,
was
or,
waivers.
or yeah, waiver signing, whatever. The most important transaction. Like, I think
Yeah.
if he shows, they have a shot without a doubt.
It's funny because I just got him to sign up. Like I didn't even really ask him. He's just like, "Hey,
Uh-huh.
well, I keep playing WoW with you. Like, why don't I bench on your team to Cup?" And then Escrow, not even talking to him beforehand, just signs him. Capspan tried to trade him to me for like a shitty pick, but then he shows up for him and he plays well and it's fun. So I'm really happy for those guys. It's cool. Like
Yeah.
the whole
Nice.
team, the whole TeamSpeak crew, they're all like the same player. Like Check, Mitten, Bart, Jeff. Like those. Well, Jeff is.
Wait. Smart isn't the same player as
Well,
them.
no, Smart and Jeff
yeah.
are better, but I mean, purely, if they could play their one position, they'd all be a cherry picker.
Yeah.
You just don't disagree with that, right? And then
Yeah,
King's
yeah.
an actual
Yeah.
career mid.
So, do
good.
you think we'll see Spart and Jeff together in playoffs, or
We saw them on Tuesday night.
it seems like they
for the
argue a lot.
D2 stream. Yeah.
I don't think it's good for the team if they do that.
And
But
those
Jeff
are
and GK.
those are two offensively minded forwards. I think you gotta get some sort of D forward out there
Or
to
even
pair
if
with one of them.
even if that player is playing cherry picker, but only one of Spart, Jeff up front anyway, whatever position they're playing. Like Jeff and Spart can both play D forward. They've done that, but only one of them, please.
So, do
Too
you
much
favor Gremlins over Pixies then?
That matchup is really close, and I haven't seen the Gremlins.
Yeah, we haven't seen enough of Pixies recently. Of
Yeah.
your new roster.
Yeah. I'd like to hold off on making a bet on that kind of series.
True,
They do
we don't
play
really
each
have
other
enough
though,
footage.
right? Like that's
Yeah,
pretty much
it'll
guaranteed.
be Pixies Gremlins. Yeah.
That's gonna be a good series. I'm gonna try to watch that.
Yeah.
Pixies, I think 3 is a fair ranking. This team is kind of put together late. I don't know how the chemistry is going to be. Obviously, we traded for Chinny before I got there, and he kind of wanted to mid, but he's not going to mid because he's probably the third best mid on this team. Maybe we could see Red show up. Actually, I think Ryland's been playing pretty good from what I've noticed in Versus Worlds.
Yeah.
I think he's been playing better in D2 than he was in D1 recently. Like he's
Yeah.
back to his form when he started in the playoffs, in finals. I mean,
Maybe he feels more confident to try shit out. I don't know.
maybe right. Yeah.
And I feel
Yeah.
like Shimino's just always a better forward than mid. I don't know how y'all feel about that.
Yeah, definitely. I don't like Shimino's mid.
Yeah, I agree with that assessment.
If I could have to evaluate our team, I would say GK is going to be pretty much going to
Yeah,
have Guido.
GK's my one
drag.
question mark with you guys right now.
Drag is an amazing technical player, and I think at GK with this team, he'll be able to express himself the most.
Yeah.
Like he won't want to play mid or D forward, I don't think.
Well,
So
he's either going to GK or fifth man. He's actually played decent at GK, but then other times he's just like running around like a monkey. So if he can reel it in, he's actually a pretty good GK. Like he uses that playmaking ability you mentioned to kind of like set up our offense. So if he can kind of get it together, he's a pretty solid GK. And then also I'll be gone in Japan, so I don't know if I'm going to be jet lagged. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe we'll need Chinny or Red to come mid.
dude, you need to tell me how that goes.
Yeah.
Sounds fun. I took Japanese in college.
Let's see. You had Bike Thieves over Stoners. I think Stoners are a better team, but I feel like they're just always gonna have this potential about them and never actually put it together. Whereas Bike Thieves they'll probably show up and get it done.
No, I would disagree with that. I think that the Bike Thieves are definitely the better team.
Really?
Yeah, Stoners have like a bunch of guys, but they're not really mixing that well. Plus, a lot of them aren't showing up at all.
I feel like
in the
if the
playoffs, they'll
Stoners,
show up, I guess.
I feel like if all their players showed up, they could beat the Keys in the first round. Like I would favor them.
Really?
Because I think Thunder, like he really puts it together. It depends if he plays really well.
Yeah, Thunder can. He's
I don't think
probably
DJ's
the
been
X
around
factor
for
them.
Thunder at his best.
Oh yeah,
Dude's
Thunder,
literally
he carried that
multiple
Apes team.
franchises. Like
He
fucking
carried
hell.
that Apes team to a cup.
I played with him in my first season, actually.
Really?
Although it should have been the Storm.
Yeah,
Shout out
I
to the
remember
Sacramento
that.
Storm.
That team was GM'd by Scott Paulo though? Or
My first season? Or
Wait, who are
I'm
you
talking about the
about?
Storm, real quick.
Oh,
okay.
that was
KT Flash.
Oh, I remember.
well, yeah,
that.
it was technically KT, but it was me.
Yeah.
DJ, what team were you on
So
Thunder
wait, who did
with?
you get to fake for KT?
It was Rich, but I had no role in it. Don't worry, I'm not gonna ban it. It's already revealed. But
We already know what happened.
yeah.
It's all right. DJ, when did you play with Thunder?
First season, I was drafted very last in the draft. I was on the Robot Bears Swifty Cats, the D2 affiliate.
Fucking hell, yeah, I remember this.
It was like me, Flossie, Thunder, and Crumbler. Our peak was
Wow,
like we beat
you guys have all like
Gunman.
come into your own since then. Dang.
I don't know. Then I got traded with Bum Nuggets to the U-boats.
And history was made.
Finished my way to a finals, but we didn't end up winning. So
Yep. Any comment on the Dinobots? Like, did they have a shot at making the playoffs? I mean, they have that 3-point lead over Keys. I mean, not Keys. Sorry, Bike Thieves.
J-Con, and they signed Sheep. We completely forgot about Sheep.
Yep. Sheep's a solid. I mean, he hasn't played Hacksball in a while, but still, if Hacksbob and Muton can show.
Dude, did you
they
see
can
that
limp in.
fucking Hacksbob one-man carry?
Yeah.
It was legendary. Against Gremlins, he was like, we're not losing this game.
Basically, if they can get 4 points this week, I think they're in playoffs.
I think Hacksbob will single-handedly... I completely forgot about him.
If he shows
but
up.
That game reminded me. Yeah. If Hacksbob can show up at least one of those games, they will have enough points to get in, I think.
Yeah.
But they won't do anything in playoffs, but...
Maybe not.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, maybe
If they
they
play-
can limp in.
If they could play Gremlins in the wild card,
I
That's
don't
not gonna
see
happen,
that.
but-
No.
he
Well,
needs
it can't
motivation to
happen.
play.
I just can't see them getting 4 points in their last 3 games. They got the
They'll get-
Stoners, the
They might
Sluts,
get
and the
three,
Bike Thieves.
man. It'll be rough, but they might get three.
As long as they don't 3v3 the Sluts, because I think the Sluts are a 3v3 team, they'll get the win. I mean, if you look early in the season, it was a different team for them, and the Sluts had G Baller, who just went on a rampage when
Dude.
they played 3 games. but they lost to the Sluts 10-3, so that was bizarre. And then I don't know, just the Stoners I think are a better team as long as they'll show up. And they said Monday is a day when everyone's available usually. And the Bike Thieves, I think the Bike Thieves.
Yep. So we'll see if they can put together. We'll go ahead and wrap it up though. I want to do like what we used to do, a little rundown. I'm just gonna give y'all a few topics and you comment. What were your thoughts on Breadman eating an entire burrito in one bite?
Didn't watch.
Didn't watch. I was disgusted personally, and
I
now
got
there's
14
there's a new
seconds in, I
video
had to
posted
stop.
of a cheeseburger, so I kind of
Dude,
wanna.
I can't.
I want
I
to
will
watch,
not-
but I don't.
I will personally never watch any of those videos, and I will hang myself in my bathroom
You know
Okay,
what?
fair
before
enough.
I ever do.
Here, I'll watch the video
Okay.
before they get a PTA.
Oh, please no.
While you load that up, also, Scooter's been doing a lot of development. We didn't really get to talk about it last week because it wasn't in there. I think Match History is like a pretty neat, kind of addition.
Yeah,
The wins and loss thing seems buggy, but I kind of like, I would like to see a database like where you could like match up, who you've played against, to see like your win rate against them or win rate with them. We'll see if that can come.
Yeah.
There's a lot
yeah,
of
huge
stats
shout out
that
to
have be
Scooter.
implemented.
Yep. Shout out to Scooter. What else was there? Any other news in SPHB? Oh yeah, waiver signings. Do you think anyone else will sign up? There's like one more day to sign up. Will we see any superstars?
I don't think Negative Bro is gonna sign up. He's had his time. I don't think Wayne will sign up.
I don't
Hannah
think
Next
Wayne
Gen
will
might
either.
qualify, to be honest.
No, let's
You
say
think
they
they're gonna
don't.
show up?
There's only one man you're talking about, though.
Who else is? Well, Nika can't because he's banned. So there's
Lindros.
Lindros,
Silverlight, but he's gone.
Silverlight.
That is the exact question I was asking myself all season when I had first waiver. What legends are there? Oh, he doesn't play anymore. Oh,
Stapler, you were in a very difficult situation. Are you gonna hold on to the waiver?
No, I'll use it because Hannah and Exchen just signed up.
But what
if any legends want to sign up and play for my team, go for it, man. I'll sign you up, get you right in here.
You're the reason why they're not signing up right now.
Maybe that's right.
Actually,
right, so
will you see who signs up before the waiver runs?
the waivers run on Sunday, and free agency closes on Saturday. Right, Ovechkin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Wait,
it is.
so is there only one more waiver run then? Like everyone will be
Yes.
on there? Oh, okay.
Everyone will be on that.
So you'll know everyone in there then.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Is there anything
Fair
else,
enough.
or do I start watching this video of Breadman?
Do you want to give us a live reaction?
Yeah, live
Okay.
play-by-play. All right.
All right.
I just want to know where Nightbeat gets the videos from.
I think it's
some
Kick.
Check.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he's calling it a double cheeseburger. He's calling it what it actually is instead of calling a burrito a taco.
Oh, there's the new one.
Yeah. Thing it's never been done before. All right, Breadman. Maybe by a Breadman. Hasn't been done before. Holy fuck, is he actually gonna do it? One bite. No fucking way. Do it.
Everyone knows the rules.
Ah!
Oh no
He's
way.
like
Oh, don't
shoving
do
it
this to
in.
yourself.
No. No. You can't eat that. No. All right, he
Oh my
failed.
God.
No, he couldn't do it. Okay, that's funny. He couldn't
All
do
right.
it.
All right.
Breadman.
You don't have any shout outs to give? Shout out to Breadman.
It's been a great
kinda
season,
disgusting.
guys. Let's wrap it up with Breadman. Round of applause. Great season 26. To Happy Days on Hacksball. Also, shout out to Breadman with Ball 3D. You let me know about that. It's on Steam now.
I'll have to check it out. OV, DJ, any shout outs?
Nice having you on the show, gentlemen.
And shout out to Scooter again. Thanks for all you do. Flyers suck, buddy. Sorry.
Thank you. Never forget. DJ, man, love having you on the staff. You are emblematic of the new generation of Hacksball. All right, that's all, folks.
DJ, you want to give one out?
I'd probably give it out to Atticus because he could start anywhere else on D2, and I've given him the option to leave, and he's sticking with the keys, so I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, shout out,
What a nice guy. That's
shout
a
out to
complete
the season
non-shout-out.
24 Seals. Love you guys.
Well, I just gotta end the show with the shout out to Jeremy Lin.
Oh fuck! Sorry, I forgot.
Shout out to
Damn
Jeremy
it.
Lin.
God damn it! Forgot this time.
Also Vank. and we'll give one to ATL as well. All right, thanks for listening, everyone.